is your Saturday going? A little cooler in Alabama today. I'm not mad at it. I'll tell you that for sure. So got a little hunt to do today. Let me see if I got my thing. I can just that a little bit. I lowered my podium down. I got a couple of things I was trying to arrange on the desk. So anyway, how are you doing? I had a little scare there to begin with. I couldn't get my intro to start. What would it be, a WalkerMagnet channel without the intro? So I'm told. Very well received. So let's run the list, see who all is here. Hey, Nicole Erickson. I see B.H. Ringer, Blistering Barnacles, Captain Vic, Christopher Ty, Copper Owl Coin will be on at 2 o'clock today, so don't miss that. Special time. Dad Spare Change, Dale Brett, Drayless, Fleabag. Hope you're doing well, Fleabag. JC Light Pam, Jim Thompson, KJ in Ohio, Lisa D, Martin Bowen, had another one pop in there I missed. So Michael Erickson, NC Prospectors, Net Fiend, Nicole Erickson, Shell Bell, Tea Time, Tom Craig, Tom Thumb, and William E. And also, last but not least, Gabe Bowen, our super fan. Thank y'all for all being here today. I hope your week went well. We will start off with one box. I'm going to spin the wheel for a Superstar member. Once I've completed these boxes, as I have alluded to in previous streams, we're going to be changing how we do the channel a little bit, more in line with the times, if you will. And so we will get to those at a later date. I still haven't ironed out all the details on it. I got me a new brush, so let's try that out. My Paul Spare Time mat is getting a little dirty. So let me see if I can spruce it up a little bit before we get going. Here we go. Got to be careful. I sharpened the old case knife and grabbed it by the blade. That could have been a mistake. All right, so we are clean now and ready to go. Got things squared up. Let's get to the wheel. I'm going to, I got it right there. I got to change the window to Wheel of Names. And then hopefully it will show up to you guys. All right, so I've got on here Jim C., Jim Cantor, Gabe Bowen, J. Ram. Gabe, I have made an honorary Superstar member. He is such a great fan of the channel. Michael E. and Dad Spare Change are on the wheel. We're going to spin first name off. We will remove and we will hunt the box today for that individual. So here we go. Here we go. Namaste, upgraded membership to Superstar member. Namaste, I will add you after this wheel today. After this wheel, I will add you. Thank you for that. Very generous of you. You will get a free box hunt coming up. But today we will have Jim Cantor. Jim Cantor, you have won. Going to remove Jim. He is the box today. Namaste. I'm adding you to the wheel right now as a Superstar member. There is Namaste. You will be on the wheel for the next drawing. Thank you again for upgrading that. Let me make sure I spell. I am the worst speller in the history of spellers. I'm not a very smart smeller, and I'm a horrible speller. So anyway, there you go, Namaste. Thanks again for the membership. You will get a free box hunt as we round out this, hoping to see some silver to lift. Hey, we are, for this year, I do believe that we are on trend for a unforgettable 3 in a row if we should be able to hit today. We have certainly struggled to get silver today. I did update the finds for the top there. We've got 23 total. We got found shell bell, a 90 in the last 3 rows, last hunt. Yes, that was Tuesday night. So let's get this thing open here. I should have 2 more boxes sitting at the bank. If they came in, I didn't check. And but if so, we will do another box. We may do 2 boxes in the next week. So yeah, so this is not good. 2023s look like, yeah, pretty full box. So Jim, you will not have a box hunt today. You will be moved to the next time we get a box that we can hunt. This is full of 2023s. I cannot look. So I got a box of nickels. I went to one bank, didn't have any they could let go of. This is circulated. It's got a few. We're going to open it, Jim. If we find silver, it's your box. If we don't, you'll get another one. But anyway, so I got a box of nickels. They gave them to me in the top already opened. And so I looked in the box and it was 2021s, a full box of nickels of 2021 nickels. You know, because I kind of like got a little gleam in my eye when I first looked at it, and I thought 2024 D maybe, or P even, and it was not to be. Walker can't get that lucky. So I went to my dump bank and I sat in the parking lot and opened every row and took them in and put them through the coin machine. Then I took that money and I went straight on over on the nickel. I've already turned them back in. I went straight on over and got to another bank and got a box of nickels from them. So I was able to get a circulated box of nickels from another bank finally, but it was not a good day for that. So that was frustrating. Then I did get the 1 box of halves, and now it is full of 2021s. It looks like it's got a few circulated coins. You never know. I mean, you could run across silver in these boxes. But all 2023 P's, and no, I'm not going to be looking. There's too many to look at for the DDO. So we're just going to get through these. Part of the business. So, aside from my issues, how has everybody else been doing this week? I do have a very nice, I think, members only giveaway for the end of stream, so I hope those that are members will stick around. We do have the 50, I see 41 likes right now. We do have the 50 and 75 and 100 likes. I did go ahead and make up 100 likes. It will probably be a shorter stream since I'm not going to really have to hunt this box. It's going to be a shuck and chuck kind of day. Shuck and chuck kind of day. Yeah, it's supposed to be 99 degrees this week. So 110, 115 degree heat index Tuesday and Wednesday. So if the only bright spot is it slows the grass down a little bit. We haven't. Hiya, Crafty Dragon. Haven't had ready. I am ready for football. I guess they start practice here in another week or so. So that'll be. At least, I listen to a local sports radio when I'm riding around and stuff, and it's kind of been a grind all the way through the off season, not been a lot to talk about. So at least they will have maybe some updates and things to discuss on the radio as I listen to that through the week. We'll have some practice news and maybe get some information on our quarterback situation. Hall of Fame. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Dad's Spare Change. I will check that out. Hard-boiled egg. Oh, wow. Well, I like hard-boiled eggs, you know. So that's not a total waste, you know. Not a total waste. Lisa D., how you doing? This is the good thing, the benefit about getting away from box donators. And I'm not saying, you know, because I got some other thought at work, just popping in right. Thank you, Billy28. I appreciate that. I'm not saying it's totally out of the realm, you know. If we get a streak going of that, you know, that I may do a box only, no additional, like you would pay $35 for the box or something like that, $30 for the box. You get what you get. If we get into an area, a time when we're consistently finding silver. But the flip side, the good side of doing it this way is, you know, if we get a box like this, oh well, you know, it's not a total loss because we didn't have anything invested in it. And now I got something to do. We can chit chat, and Canadian smoke stinks. So they got another fire issue in Canada, I take it. I have not seen anything about that on the news feed. So Metallic Silver Skull has become a star supporter. Thank you, sir. You are a super guy. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I mean, the silver is, you know, I see people finding it. That must be Paula Abrams. I looked over and saw capitals. So Paula is in the house, been feeling crappy. I've been having crappy, so I will try to come back. All right. Well, good deal. Good deal. That would be good. So I got an interesting lot in the auction today. If you have not checked out the list, it's in the description. I've never got this warning before. As I was setting up the channel or the stream, it said that my description was too long. And if that's the case, it must have been too long forever because it was like almost 2,000 characters over. So I had to delete a bunch of stuff out. I took all of my scope information because I think somebody said that scope was no longer being made, so it was irrelevant anyway. If anybody ever interested in any of the equipment I use, just you can email me or let me know in some way or fashion, and I can look it up and see if it's still available. But I have been happy with what I'm using right now for the most part. I think I'm going to set up this other camera when we go to auction so that maybe I can better show some of the things we're going to have today. Whew. Nose got athletic on me. I was able to catch up with it before it went off. There's a pretty good circulated row. That was a Blinger 64 we found Tuesday for Shelbyville in her box. 73D. Hey, Jim Thompson. Matt Yankee, how are you? 72D. my girl Hannah been working her little butt off. She, you know, they've got a schedule, but of course people don't come in or don't want to work or whatever that day or get sick. You know, hey Otis, legitimate reasons I'm sure, but when they do, they put their shift up on a message board, and Hannah's been picking up every double shift she can get, so she has been working a lot here lately. I'm proud of her work dedication. Yesterday, my son and he's trying to get moved out of a apartment that he has kept here in town. He has kind of moved up to Winfield, Alabama, where his girlfriend lives and her family, and so he commutes back and forth, which is a pretty good run, but it's not a hard drive, it's just long. And then on night, if he's on night shift or just had a bad day, didn't get much sleep, then he will crash at his apartment. And so he's finally getting rid of that bill. It'll save him about $600-700 a month versus what he's paying, you know, at where they're staying at in Winfield. So that is good. But he had a couch and some things, a couple of recliners and stuff that needed to be moved to Winfield, and his girlfriend Sarah Beth was able to get a trailer, an enclosed 16-foot box trailer that we were able to pull down and load everything up in one go. So that was really nice. Got it all loaded up. I kept a couple of things here for him, and then the rest we took up to Winfield and delivered. He wasn't comfortable pulling a trailer like that. It drove great. It was, you know, it tracked well. You didn't have to worry about it getting out of lane. So, but backing it up, you know, if you've never backed a trailer, it can be tricky, especially if you got limited areas to turn around and stuff. So I helped him out with the drive, and we got all that done, and then I came home, worked on the auction items, and watched some YouTube, of course. I've been watching a movie called The Accountant. I watched one the other night, and I watched the second one last night. That's been my movie stuff this week. I also watched The Equalizer. It was coming on just regular TV, and so I got involved in it in the evening, watched both episodes of that. So I like those kind of movies. So that's kind of been what my week's been like. Got some yard work done. That's an ongoing thing. Mike Slides, how are you today? Anybody found any good stuff lately? I know our Discord channel has been popping with people finding silver this week. Dad's Spare Change found two barbers in his hunt, along with other 40% silvers and stuff. So that was a good box. I think one was at $18.99. No, I have not watched Department Q. No, haven't made it to that one. I've heard of it, I think, Artie might, but I haven't watched it yet. So I will put that on the list to check out. 72D. I think it's there. It's almost gone. Yeah, we got some. I got one that I picked up. I forgot to show it the other night. There's Hunting Southwest Ohio. Hardest working man in Ohio. I think Hunting Southwest Ohio, I think Kevin flew up or even drove up. I'm not sure how he got there, but to the Cincinnati show that I saw CoinOp was at today. he wanted to meet them, that group of YouTubers. So he is up in that area, I believe, at the show. This is the uncirculated box, pretty much, Rick. I was hoping to be able to hunt a good box, extend the streak. Not saying that we can't extend it, but it is unlikely. Unlikely. Of 2 weeks in a row with silver. You was at the show, Otis? Nice. That's one I wouldn't mind. That might be a one, you know, that might be one in a, you know, maybe early, well, maybe early in the year. It'd be too doggone cold, but in between shows down here, you know. I wasn't able to make the show. Well, I know, you got a lot on your plate there, Rick. That show's not going anywhere. I tell you what, now this show that me and Martin went to here would be a good group get-together show. It is it's just an annual show, and this was the 63rd, hey Ron Pierce, 63rd annual show. It's very, very well done. So lots of places to stay that are close to the venue. So it might be if East Ridge, well, I don't know. East Ridge is convenient because it's kind of in the middle. I understand that. So, but if anybody would ever want to come down to Alabama and go to a show, that one's in July. It would be a good one to visit. If you got visiting coin shows on your vacation roster, would be a good one to come see. 65th annual. I was close. I mean, you know, down here in Alabama, we play with horseshoes, so. Play with horseshoes. Yeah, sorry about that, Jim. I looked at that one and compared it to the one I have, and there's not enough difference in it that would make me want to spend that kind of money for it. So sorry about that, but I appreciate you thinking of me. Thank you for thinking of you. Fleabag went to state sale, bought 8 proof quarter sale. Oh, nice. Nice. I saw a video today Cadro Hunter did. He bought a box of assorted Canadian stuff for $200, and if he was to sell all of it, turn it around, would be a nice profit on that. So, Jim, I'm not going to put you back on the wheel. The next box we hunt, hopefully Tuesday, the first box. If you're in the chat, you can pick your box. You can pick which box you want, but you will just get the first box we hunt next time. An 82p. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say Martin and I have gone to the dark side. It just, I get currency. I mean, I'm just kind of like a butterfly, kind of, James Eller, been a member for 11 months. Thank you, Lucky James. I kind of flick around. I get bored with stuff. That's the problem. You know, I'm still liking my commemoratives. I'm still kind of keeping an eyeball on those. Looking for opportunities on coins, but not looking for coins. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Can you feel me? And so right now, I just kind of got I'm just pollinating a little different flower for a while. How's that? How is that? Diversifying my investments. $72p. So I do have a circulated box of nickels. We'll crack into those. A little bit, Christopher Ty. Because that's a huge opportunity also if these shows and other countries have done a beautiful job with their currency. I have watched a good bit oh no, that won't happen. That won't happen. Yeah, hunting Southwest Ohio. I only got one and it's not circulated, so I hope to have 2 more at the bank that I'm going to try to pick up Monday. And so we will do 2 boxes Tuesday night, maybe. 2 boxes Tuesday night. Yeah, well, I mean, some of the notes I'm buying, they're not super, trendy. They're not super on the upswing, but, I like my goal would be to 1 time a year, maybe 2 times a year, invest, buy a quality note. And look, I mean, it's not going to appreciate with the speed or movement that maybe gold does, but I can buy a high quality note for the price of an ounce of gold, and it's not going to depreciate in value, especially if it's graded and I have a finite grade. I know what it is. There's no question marks on the grade. If you invest in some of the Big Chief notes or the Bison or the educational series, I'm telling you right now, those things are not going to lose value. I mean, that's my opinion, of course. I am not an investment professional. do not picked up 9 boxes. Thank you. Well, you're in the catbird seat up there, hunting Southwest Ohio. I'm just small taters down here in Alabama. Small taters. But, I look at an investment piece like that the same as I would if I bought an ounce of gold, and was going to sit around and wait on it to appreciate. Gold can be boring. Oh, that looks, 73. But when you look at these notes, man, the history behind them, the artistry that went into producing them back in the day. 57 likes. Thank you, Dad Spare Change. Let me get that going. We got 2 rows to go. 2 rows to go. I lowered my frame so all my cameras are in. All my cameras. Hey, J-Dud. I agree, J-Dud. I agree. All my cameras are in front of my displays, so let's see here. 50 likes. That's where we go. I'm going to get me a bottle of water. I've actually got one on the counter in the kitchen I forgot to bring back. I'll be right back, and we'll finish these 2 rows. All right, got 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. We've got 30 people in. We've got 50 in the chats. I don't know why that works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. The other night it didn't put the number of people in there. So if we missed anybody there, I'm sorry. Hey, KCB. KCB's in the house. 34 people in the giveaway now. Giveaway is 2 Rosie dimes. That's going to finish that yucky box. I'm going to go ahead and open this box of nickels while the giveaway is running. That is a good circulated box. Don't see silver enders, but I do see some older looking enders. So let's go ahead and just open a row of them. We got a little time here. Got 53 seconds to get in on the giveaway. Hey Lynn, how are you? Hope y'all are doing well. Five seconds to go. All right, almost ready. Here we go. What I see it in chat, you can no longer enter. Nope, that's not. Oh, there it is. I see it. All right, picking a winner. Good luck, everyone. This is for 50 likes. Jim Cantor. He says my box didn't work, so I'll just take 2 Rosie dimes. Congratulations, Jim. Put this in the got to mail side. And there we go. Boomski. Back to the other screen we go. Congratulations, Mr. Cantor. So remember, Copper Owl will be following up the stream today instead of Sunday, where he will be traveling. He will be filling in for the great Pa's Spare Time after this. So I will have to say my coin counter did pretty good because I had a $100 box of nickels and I dropped 2 nickels in the truck. So instead of looking for them, I got a quarter out of my pocket and put it in there. Man, that's a beautiful 63. I might check that one against the album. I just tossed a quarter in there with it, and I ran the whole thing through the coin machine, and it came out to $100.15. Hey, Nick, how are you? Good to see you. So I kind of checked the calibration on the old coin machine. It's doing pretty good. The convenience outweighs the possible loss of a coin or two, even if it had came up short. Even if it had came, all right, that's going to be our first find of the day, 1940. We have a oldie in the book. We have an oldie in the book. Cammy King, how are you doing? I'm sorry, Cammy, you just missed the giveaway there. Now, in future streams, once I get through with the donator, the member boxes that I'm doing, I'm going to change to where all of the giveaways will be based on the box. If we don't find anything in the box, we might not even have a giveaway. But if we do, 50 likes, 75 likes, whatever the box gives us, we will turn that into giveaways, and they will be all EOSs. So if we get enough action out of the box to have a 50 likes, 75 likes, we will draw those consecutively at the end of the box. And then, so that's the way I'm planning on doing it. Hey, Rolf, once I get to the point where I've satisfied all my promises to the Superstar members, of which we have a new one. Namaste has jumped in the kitty on that. And so anyway, there's other things I'm thinking about as we go along. We may adjust the membership tier so that since I won't be, I'll be counting on the boxes for things, then I might not be in a position to honor my Superstar members, who certainly deserve it. So we may have to change the membership tier a little bit for those that are still interested. There'll still be some perks to being a member. Just not sure what they're going to be yet. So if you haven't followed along as we've been moving through this, we got a coin show coming up in November in Eastridge, Tennessee. We've got a pretty good crowd of people interested in coming, and so it is going to be a great time to meet up with all of the YouTubers that are going to be there. If you like Dad's Fair Change, Hunting Southwest Ohio, Jolly Roger. I think even the great Copper Owl had thought about that. Might be a good time for him to get out of town. I had not read anything about the wildfires in Canada as far as smoke goes. So, yeah, y'all, I hope everybody is weathering that well. It's Treasure Hog. Treasure Hog is in the house. Oh, yeah, good luck with that. I've never been able to figure out how to tag on anything but a computer. Now, I'm told that if you completely do an @ sign and completely fill in the whoever you're wanting to tag, that it will work. But my fat fingers don't text good, so I end up having to redo it 63 times, so it's not a good option for me. Not a good option for me. So my dad doing well. He's doing pretty good. He's my brother is supposed to be visiting today. So I will have to, and it could be my brother pops in sometimes when we have some technologically savvy people over there visiting my dad. They will pull up. All right, Rick, take care, my friend. He will pull up the channel and let my dad watch it. He loves watching me on TV. Only thing about lowering that is it puts that doggone camera right in my field of view. So it looked like silver pulled back a little bit. There's still speculation on $40 silver. going to try to, Hartford Judd used to live in Washington State, and the smoke from British Columbia wildfires was bad. Yeah, you know, that's never a good scenario, you know. You'd rather have the smoke than the fire, though. I mean, if you look at it from that standpoint. I know the fire's there, but I'd rather get the drifting smoke than seeing the flames. Dolly Roger thinks we'll hit soon, says 38 is the new low. Heard a potential $40 silver. Yeah, I mean, you know, that's another reason for the changes I'm going to be making, is that I have given away a lot of silver over the years and just can't replace it anymore, not economically. So I would like to rebuild some of my silver stock, my nuclear. Okay, yeah. I think I got all of the little dimes sent out. Everybody seems to like them. That was a very, very nice set of dimes that I bought in a collection. So we lost Hulk Hogan this week. That was, from what I've read, totally unexpected. Lots of famous people passing on in the last week or so. It's a very nice 64 P. Mercury dime lot for a while, but may have to hold back at this time. I've got a Mercury dime album. It's not one I curated. It was one that I bought partially for. I don't think it has any key dates. I think that I did, and I bought those separate, and I may have sold those already. Oop, Tom Thumb hit the slots. Bell sent a picture of her heat in her car, and so I posed the question on Discord: what would you rather have, 3 feet of snow or a 110-degree heat index? I think Chicken Man Dan wanted the heat because he's the one out there with the snow blower. I mean, because if you think about it, all you really have to manage is the snow on your property to get to the road if you live up in those areas, because they do such a good job, I guess. Now, I'm certainly not speaking from experience, but they have the equipment to maintain the road, so the hardest part would just be getting to the road. And it's like Shell Bell says, you can put on more clothes, but you can only take off so much without getting arrested. Yep. Man, it was hot moving that stuff with my son yesterday. He's a big old boy. He was sweating bullets. And I was kind of wanting to keep the momentum going. You know, when you get old. Oh, yeah, she also said depends on if she's retired or not. When you get old, once you get going, you need to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? And so we had made the run to his apartment, got everything loaded. We came by my house to unload the things that were going to stay down here. And so I was ready to get back in the truck and keep on going. He's like, I says, you ready? He said, well, I thought we'd sit down for a little bit. So we did. We sat down and talked and had a cool drink and then got back on the road. I am headed to Tyler, Texas next month to a show in Tyler. So hopefully that will be fun. I haven't ever been to that. Yeah, I guess it depending on where you live, you know, Lisa. For my area, you know, I don't never have to worry about 3 feet of snow. I say I don't never. You never know what Mother Nature has in plan, but so I don't have any kind of reference to decide anything on that. Whereas people that live in it every year might have a different opinion on the matter. You're right, Namaste. Goes from 50 to 0. And they don't even have to snow. They can they can just think it's gonna snow, and you get at least one day down as far as school go. Crap, you can't even get through a day of school now if there's a severe thunderstorm. Now, I never heard of, severe thunderstorm when I was a little boy. Just meant I had to walk faster to get to school. Maybe have a raincoat, rubber boots on. Uphill both ways, that's right. There was only one area you had to be careful with. There was one pasture I could cross that to make it cut some time off getting to school when I was in the first grade. And but if that old bull was out there, you didn't want to go across there when that bull was loose. If he was in the barn or in the fenced up, you could go across, but you didn't want to play with that old boy. I had a welt pony named Scout, and my uncle was going to show me what a great horse rider he was, and he had him bareback out in the pasture making a run around. We weren't farmers. We just lived in an area that, that had some land around it, but he was going around that pasture full, and he was going to do like a Lone Ranger deal and ride up close to the fence and haul back on the range, Well, that horse stopped on a dime, gave him 9-cent change back. He slid up his neck, elbows, and you know what, when he hit the ground. Kind of slow nickel box too. I've done better with this style box with the holes in the bottom than I have in the other. Matter of fact, I got one of those. That's the one that was full of the 2020 2021s. Bubble gum on that one. There's a 41. All right. I talked bad about it, so maybe it's listening. There's a 41 we can add to the fine side. 41D. Thinking about cooking some taco soup tonight. I've been eating spaghetti every day. Oh yeah, that's true, Playbag. That's like one of the comedians, James Gregory or something, said he was riding along one day and saw a sign for a business that said, Bob's Lawnmower Repair and Tax Return Service. And he's like, how in the heck did that get started? He said, sometime in the past, somebody came in and said, you did a really good job fixing that lawnmower. You want to do my taxes? He did a lot of those sometime in the past jokes. Said he was sitting in an airplane. He looked up at this emergency door. It said, do not open during flight. He said, sometime in the past, some guy got up and said, I think I'll go stretch my legs. Here's your sign. That's two different comedians, though. 69, that looked like an oldie. Yeah, I had read somewhere that that was going to go up. That's why I was trying to think of something I could cook a big pot of and eat all week. I've been eating spaghetti just about every day. It's almost gone. So I need me another pot for another week or something else. Thinking taco soup and cornbread might sound good. Brian and the twins, how are you doing? Hamburger stew last night over rice. That's another good one, a goulash with elbow macaroni in it is a good big pot. But I just had spaghetti, so I'm trying to get away from pasta on the next when WalkerMagnet does that fractional top left. Have a yes, it's the oh crap, you put me on the spot. I can't remember the material they put around. It was a counterfeiting device that they put on there, and I can't remember the metal. I've got another one that I bought at the coin show. Thank you, Valerie. Oh, there it is. I thought this one was cool. This is the 25-cent fourth issue fractional currency. Really clean note. Look at that grade. Uncirculated 62. This is 1863, I think. Let's see if I can see the date on it. Yeah, 1863. 1863, and it still looks that beautiful. 25-cent fractional currency, mint state 62. That was one that I forgot to show everybody that I got from the coin show. You are welcome, Tea Time. They are a very interesting lot of information, and that's also on the coin side why I've always had a somewhat of a fascination for the commemorative, the early silver commemorative, because they all have points of history tied to them, which I guess all commemoratives do, even the newer ones. That is called bronzing, Michael Erickson. I got my cheat book out. That is the first issue of the coin and or of the note, and that was that's called bronzing on that note. And then on the back also, you look for, these are called surcharges. So when you're trying to identify the note, you have to go in and look. This is, I think it's a 1863. Has these other characterizations on it, and you put all those pieces of the puzzle together on top of the type of note, what issue it is, and that's how you figure out what FR number that note is. Every time you buy one of these notes, it's kind of like, you know, a detective story. You know, you have to take all the clues and put them together. These are here, Shell Bell. Yes, these are the ones I got in Vermont. So, but you have to kind of put all the little clues together, like signatures, and on the fractionals, it even goes deeper than that. Plate numbers, plate positions, all of that kind of stuff. So that's part of the draw for the currency, is just, you know, and I'm kind of a research guy, and so that piques my interest also. That's part of, that's kind of like, you know, some of the stuff I've found metal detecting. I haven't found a ton of stuff, but I have found an item, you know, that I was able to do some research on and figure out that it came from before 1900, you know, because of the information I was able to dig up on it. So that was cool. Anytime you can do stuff like that. Hey, Eric A. We will be probably a little early on the auction than usual. I don't know. Nickels take a little longer than halves, so it may be the perfect combination to get a full stream out of. There's a 2024P. I think 32 million on that. People hear that number and they're like, low mintage, 32 million, low mintage. Or yeah, the year before they made 600 million. So respectively, it's low mintage. Oh, well, no, very, very good. That's got some value attached to it. Not sure how much. I don't know what they go for, but very nice. That is a very good find. I mean, that would be like finding a barber in a row of halves. The rarity. Looking through the ASCs, good deal. I have never found one, though, in the big world of hunting dollar bills. Man, that's another thing. So I bought uncirculated boxes of halves all year long. the last 2 pickups of dollar bills that I have gotten have all been uncirculated. And then today I get another box of uncirculated. All the bills that I've gotten $1,000 worth in 2 pickups have all been 2021. I did find a broken ladder in one, so I've got a very crispy broken ladder note, but the others were not placed in the count right. I'm hoping. Sorry about that. We had a police officer shot in Scottsboro, and the guy that did it is on the run. WalkerMagnet, I look at mintages like we have about 330. Yeah, I guess that's true too. True that, Crafty. Yeah, I don't mind the alerts. I realize they're necessary. I don't like them. They startle me in such a way as that, you know, unless it was severe weather bearing down on my house, that's the alerts I want. I don't mind getting a text or whatever or alert on my phone that when I pick my phone up, I see it, of those type of situations. But man, it just jars my nerves every time one of those come through. There's another 2024P. I think Pa Spare Time is back home. He responded to a comment I made on his video. I agree, Crafty. I agree. Man, it's a crazy world we're living in. Crazy world. You know, I understand why people want to carry nowadays protection, and it's, you know, hopefully it'd be a situation where you never use it, but I guess it's one of those things where you say you'd rather have it and never use it than need it and not have it. But you know, I'm also afraid that if you did need being used, there's a possibility they could decide that you wasn't thinking good when you used it. And next thing you know, you're spending 30 years in prison for protecting yourself. So I'm on the fence about carrying. I can understand it. I feel like I don't have nothing that they can't have that's worth me killing somebody over. Yeah, maybe not in our lifetime. Be certainly thinking of the kiddos in that respect. Come on, Nickel, give me a little something. Side 240s. I'm good if you want to give me some 43s, 44, 45. You know, I'm good with that. All those 40s you want to give me, bring it on. I want to do a nickel box like Jolly Roger had in his dime box. Jolly Roger had a monster dime box the other day. All right, tea time. We'll be around for a little while longer. We'll be around. One good thing about this kind of box, when I get those Brink boxes, I get so many pennies mixed in with my nickels. There's another 40s nickel, that 2 40s and a 41, I think, so far. But I will get 10 cents in pennies when I get nickel boxes from Brink's. Brink, yeah, this is Loomis that delivers these boxes. Loomis, Looney Loomis. I agree, JC. Been great, wonderful community. Always has been from the get-go. We've had a few bad apples float through, but by and large, they were weeded out fairly quickly. Funny coloration to it, but it weren't nothing. Halfway through the box. Nothing major to report. My son was asking me what I wanted for my birthday. I told him 74 likes, almost there. Yep, I see it on my screen too. Thank you, BH. My dad gave me a Husqvarna chainsaw that ain't been cranked since Moby Dick was a minnow, so gonna have to have the carburetor cleaned and everything. I watched a couple videos and about doing it. I could probably do it, but if I paid somebody to do it, it would cost me as much money as it would cost me to buy electric, battery operated, which is much more suitable to what I need it for. So I think my son was asking me what I wanted for my birthday. I think I'm going to find a electric chainsaw. I've got, as Martin and Shelby and them know, Brian and the twins hit the slots. I have huge crepe myrtles that I have not tended very well over the years, so I'm starting to try to cut some of that back And it would really be nice to have a electric chainsaw that I could go out there and just lop a few branches off here and there. I like to do my yard work 2 hours at a time. I'll go out one day, I might cut a bunch of brush down, I'll leave it laying, and then the next day I'll go out for a couple of hours, drag it to the road. Next day I'll go out for a couple of hours. I was going to cut my front yard yesterday, but I forgot that I had to help my son, so that didn't happen. I'm going to try to get it done Monday before it gets hot. Yeah, you know, I just feel like really and truly for what I need, Namaste, that's a better option than having a gas burner. I mean, you can put fuel stabilizer in it and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, I would like to have a DeWalt brand, but I'm afraid I would like to have a DeWalt brand because I was thinking that my battery system, would be the same, you know. If I could find one that had some good reviews and a 20-volt battery, then that would give me an extra battery for my Sawzall, my other tools, and I would have 2 batteries to run the chainsaw. So, but I'm not sure how long it'll run on a 20-volt battery. So they make a 60 amp, not a 20 volt. Well, it is a 20 volt. They make a 60 volt battery chainsaw that might be an option, a better option. But then I got another battery. I got another battery. I'll have to. You outlived all your DeWalt tools. Well, just, you know, I've had a few Harbor Freight tools. I outlived them in a week. I did look at the Echo, and I think Ace Hardware carries Skill. Is it Skill? Ace Hardware carries one of the major brands of outdoor type stuff. But some of that, you know, you end up having a bunch of money tied up into something. I don't know. Anyway, it's just... So, I mean, I'm not needing it to go out there and deforest 3 acres of timber. I just needed to lop a limb off here or there. I've actually got one. It was a Craftsman or you know, that Sears kind of brand of tools or whatever. And it worked okay for a little bit, but you couldn't hardly, if you had a 4-inch, 5-inch limb, it was all it could do to get through one branch. You know, so, but I thought that was the answer I needed at the time. Steel, yeah. Okay, right, good. American made. Can't get mad at that. Made in America. Yeah, Crafty. It may be hot up there, but it won't be hot long. It's going to be hot long here. This is going to be a long summer, I think. But my days of doing 7, 8, 9 hours outside in the yard have long been over. But I will give myself a little pat on the back. I'm not paying nobody to do it anymore. I'm getting out there and getting it done. It didn't make good sense. My dad left me a big 46-inch Husqvarna riding lawnmower when he moved to his new place. So thought it'd be pretty dumb to pay somebody to come cut my grass when I got that riding mower out there, and it only takes me about 30 minutes to cut the whole front and backyard with it. So not that big a chore, and I need it to do anyway. I need to get out. I'm easy to sit in this chair and piddle all day. To 2024D. Yeah, look at there, 2024D. That's almost a fine now. Didn't mow, yeah. Sorry you lost your lovely wife back some years ago. I know the feelings. That's a good idea. Look at some comparison videos on YouTube. That's a good idea. Because my son was ready to push the button. I was like, no, we don't need to be buying anything yet. I got to look, see what the reviews are, and try to make a good decision. What was that old Ray Stevens song? I'm a Logger was the name of it. Got 77 likes. Let's go ahead and get that 75 likes ran out. Let everybody get involved with that. While I get that started, I'm going to take a couple of Tylenol. Got a spot of a headache. He does, yep. He was ready to mash the button as soon as I opened my mouth. He does. All right, I'll be right back. I'm going to get a couple of Tylenol. Giveaway for 75 likes is a silver quarter and a war nickel. If we find a war nickel, that'll give me a war nickel back. D, getting a lot of 2024. No, that's a P. 2024s though. Also, they bought, I think it was Brian and the twins, they kind of teamed up on that. Brian, if you're still in the chat, how much did that box go for? When they were Philadelphia minute, if I remember right. Got 58 seconds to go on the giveaway. We got 33 people in. Hey, Fubar. $597. Yeah, man, is that not crazy? I can only imagine what 2026 pennies are going to go for. What's the over/under on the 20 a full box of 2026 pennies next year? 30 seconds to go. We got 34 people in. 34 people in. We've hit the 12:30 mark. Doing good. We got 18 rows to go for the auction starts. So be aware if you're an auction guy or girl that likes the auction, that sometimes you need to check in every now and then, because on days $1,000 a box says namaste. Yeah, the haircut song. Yeah, I'm a logger. Just up from Coos Bay, Oregon, topping trees. Oh, Leighton, did you miss out? Let me see, Leighton, if you missed out, I'll open it back up just for a second. Yeah, all right. Going to give you just another 30 seconds or so. If you missed getting in, hop on in, and then we will draw for the giveaway. I'm going to finish this row, and I'm going to close it back up again. All right, here we go, here we go. Closing entries, not canceling, I'm just closing entries. Good luck, everybody. Christopher Ty. Been a while since you won a giveaway, Mr. Ty. Congratulations. I do have a really nice members only giveaway for today. I hope y'all think it's nice anyway. For those that maintain their memberships, I try to step it up a little bit. You're welcome, good sir. Congratulations. I'm going to complete that. Then we also have a everybody giveaway for EOS. I've got a 90%er in the 100 likes if we should get there. Still a little bit down the road. There is an Odie, 49. Philly. Oh yeah, I've heard them all. Crafty. Allison and I used to love them. We had CDs and stuff of him that we used to, or cassette tapes, I guess would probably be a better media that we used to use to listen to. But yeah, we had all of them. One about the pet pig. the streak. I mean, all of them. It was so funny, so funny. There was another like story format we listened to. It wasn't. If you like listening to that kind of stuff, it wasn't Ray Stevens. It was Tom Bodette, the Motel 6 guy, and he did a series about end of the road Alaska and what life was like living in a remote Alaskan town. Very, very, very good, relaxing, interesting, funny stories that he told about that. But there's several different storylines that he did. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 different CD packs. I think we were doing CDs back then. We could find them occasionally at Cracker Barrel. You know, and Cracker Barrel used to have this thing, oh yeah, Jerry Clower, that was a classic. Cracker Barrel used to have a deal, hey Mark Spafford, where you could rent books on tape and then return them, you know, to the Cracker Barrel. Especially like if you were traveling, you could get one from a Cracker Barrel here and then drop it off and exchange it at the next Cracker Barrel. So back in the heavy travel days, that was kind of a cool deal. I do have some nice war nickels that will be coming up in auctions at some point. If you have a nickel book in need of an upgrade, there's a 59 from Denver. Oh yeah, yep. Oh, Jim Stafford used to do some funny songs. He was a very talented guitarist. Brian and the Twins collect war nickels. I think I've got a 45S that's in really good shape, and I've got another, I can't remember what the date is on the other one, but they will be coming up. Probably part of a dollar start auction at some point. Didn't make the list today. I don't think it did. Or did it? I don't think it did. The dollar start, or I got 2 nickels. It's going to be a 1911 B nickel and a 29S. 29S Buffalo will be the nickels for today. For the dollar start. And then I got a couple Canadian cent for the next dollar start. And we move on up the hill from there. I helped Hunting Southwest Ohio was trying to fill a PCGS set of graded at least Mint State 63 war nickels, and I found one of the last one he needed, but it was a Mint State 64 full steps. Oh, Eric A. is in, star supporter. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Very, very generous of you. Welcome, welcome. You will be eligible for the members only giveaway at the end of the stream. Welcome to the crazy train. Oh, it's happened before. I remember one of the first better giveaways or something I did for, it may have been a box thing last year. Hey, Robert Bruce, good to see you too, sir. Aaron Foy got in right there, like maybe that day, and so I did a drawing from the Superstar members, and he won it first time out. But I will say that Aaron has kept his membership now for a couple of years, so he has certainly been, did the right thing in that, jumping in at the last minute and winning, but he backed it up with a continued membership for the last couple of years, so that's very upstanding and nice of him. Brian and the Twin upgraded membership to Walker Superstars. Thank you, Brian. That is very generous of you. I will add you to the wheel. You will get a free box. Coming up, if Shell Bell or Dad's Fair Change would update the new Superstar members in the spreadsheet, I will check that before the next stream and update it. So the next box that we do will be for Jim, because his box today was such a bad box. Hopefully my next two boxes will be circulated. Well, I really don't want to do it. I'm thinking, thank you, Dad for Change, and of course, head moderator in charge, Shell Bell, on the job. You see auction list. Is it not? Did I not? I think, look on the post, in the post on my YouTube channel, on my a membership post. I thought I would have swore that I know I did. Well, I say I know I did. I think I know I think I did. Yeah, I'm seeing there, if you look on the membership post, the whole list should be there, Eric. I had some issues with my description yesterday, so I might have deleted that out. But if you look on my page, on my YouTube page, and go to post the full list, and I added another on line 11 there at the end. I meant to include an SMS set this weekend, and I meant to, if you're talking about the auction list, I'm assuming, Eric, now the membership list for Superstar members is something that Shell Bell and them, YouTube is missing line 11. Okay, so line 11 is going to be a SMS set, 1966. So it's in really nice shape, box and all, so that will be number 11. I think it is in the spreadsheet. and I meant to put it in there. When I was cleaning my desk off after that, I came across it, so I just dumped it in there at the end. I try to kind of sort of try to keep them in a progression of how much they are, how much they're going for. I try to go from the highest to the lowest. Thank you, Shell Bell. I do have a few of those types. I've got some in the envelopes. I've got several in the box. So those will probably be an item in just about every stream, every auction for a little while. If you're interested in them, I got them. I did go over if you're yeah, it is, Robert. I was looking CoinOps there. They did kind of a live stream, remote stream or something like that today. I dropped into that for a little bit. I think Kevin, those of you that know Kevin that's in the stream, he's local to me down here. I think he traveled up there to go to it. So I'll be interested to hear from him and how that went. He wanted to meet CoinOp, and I think the Coin Help You guy is at that show also. Seems to be a very knowledgeable, nice guy also. 10 rows to go. Oh. Daniel was a good guy. I have not dealt with him. I've watched his YouTube channel, some of the information he does. He seems to be very conscientious and, you know, wanting to keep people from getting scammed or making bad decisions on purchases. And, hey, it's all about what, you know, they say the more you know. The more you know. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I don't do a Google sheet, Eric. I try to put it out on now, Eric. You might not be a Discord guy, and I understand. I'm not suggesting that you join my Discord, but I always post it on Discord. I try to update the description for the channel for the show that day, and then I also try to remember to put it in as a post. On my channel, so that's my I try to get it out there. I feel like that, you know, there's better opportunities from my side to move something into someone's hand if I get the information out there early, so they kind of know what's coming. Maybe not. Maybe you know, maybe people are saying, well, he don't have anything I want today, so I don't have to go. It is some kind of a little difficult to get into sometimes. We've had some difficulty. Everybody that has joined and been a member of it seemed to enjoy it. It's a community thing, Eric, for us. You know, we probably got 20 regular commenters in Discord, and we just, it's basically a share life deal. You know, it's, a lot of different things and subjects we can talk about. We've got different areas for each kind of topic. We share everything from pets to books to coins, so, and life. You know, I mean, just if you're in a spot, you need prayer and thoughts and warm wishes. We got an area for that. So that's it. It's nothing commercial. We do have a spot on there if you're wanting to sell something that you can put that in there, but by and large it's more just a community and support network. There's a nice 2024D. Should I be keeping the individual 2024Ds? I mean, because I have no intent of putting them on eBay, so should I keep them? Should I try to put a tube together? I'm guessing so. It is the low mintage. It is the low mintage. And also, Eric, you know, if you're looking for something, you know, it's a way that we got, you know, I guess most everybody on there just are coin people. And so, if you're looking for an item, you know, I go to a lot of shows. I don't mind shopping for somebody. We can come to some agreements behind the scene, but it is to each their own. I don't advocate that anybody join, but it does have its advantages. Well, you know, that wasn't my brainchild. I got introduced to it because Allison used it to game on, and me and her and people from all over the country could gather together on Discord and play live games together. So that was how I got introduced to it. And then I just had a thought, you know, because of the way that she used it, the way she kept up with all her friends all over the country, was, you know, through Discord. And so I said to myself, I said, Self, that might be a good way to, you know, broaden the coin community, or give a platform for everybody to get together virtually, if you will. And so, yeah, I agree with that, Namaste. So that's the deal on it. But I do post my auction list just about every week on Discord. There's a 39, not the one I need. 39, ooh. Man, it almost, if you turn it right, you know how it is. If you turn it right, I mean, when you look in the mirror, you don't never just look in the mirror. You kind of turn to the side, try to get the best look. And so when I turned it, it almost looked like a shadow D almost there. I don't see any doubling on Monticello, but the discoloration there almost looked like a D. I got excited there because that's one of the ones I need to finish my album. Yeah, I feel like if you're wanting to sell things like coins and silver or that kind of stuff, that Facebook Marketplace is probably the best. Please check for hinting. Yeah, there's the R. I know there's a weight going with that too, but I'm not sure, to be honest, I'm not sure what they should weigh. This one is 4.9 grams. I think the Henning nickel weigh over 5 grams, if I'm not mistaken. 5.2 or something like that. No, thank you for reminding me, because I had forgot. I got my cheat sheet right here. It says 39, but I got some tissues here in front of me, and I pulled one out earlier, and it was blocking my cheat sheet. It was blocking my cheat sheet. There, yeah, okay, thank you, JC. JC. There's a 57. 53 is the hinting option. I carried those ones back, all the brand new crisp, never been out of the Fed strap 2021 $1 bills. And the tellers don't like them because they're so new, they don't feed through the counting machine good. And so she's like, oh, got more new ones, you know, in that voice of resignation. And I said, yeah, don't smudge the ink. I printed them up fresh this morning. Nope, not in the wild, I have not. I found a lot of the leaky bucket and stuff varieties, but the best of those that I found was the double pump in the window. That was one of the first. There's a washer dryer coin or something. That won't go through the change machine. But yeah, I found a double pump. That was the first DDR that I ever found that was a bona fide, no doubt DDR. Because I was in a chat room, a coin deal that was a bunch of buttholes, you know, a bunch of know-it-alls in there. And if you asked a question, they acted like you was the dumbest sack of poo-poo that's ever walked the earth. How could you ask something so stupid? And so I finally got tired of them. But, you know, back at that time, I was trying to, nice, Jim. There he is. He survived. Chicken Man Dan is back. Chicken Man, if you need to take a break, get you an iced tea or a soda water. I said, I can run the auction if you need me to. But I was early in my information gathering career, so I was trying to find areas to ask questions. And man, that was the biggest bunch of buttholes I have ever run across in the coin community. Welcome, Chicken Man Dan. I'm glad you made it. I hope you didn't get too hot. All right, 3 rows to go of what has been a very poor nickel box by anybody's standards. Who was that? Who was that? What? Crafty. I can't remember the name of the channel. It was a website that dealt with, you know, different kinds of numismatic stuff like you know, DDOs, and they had, cause like back, of course, you know, I was, hey Rob's won a nice Benji on CoinOp channel earlier. Congratulations. So, you know, I was trying to understand, you know, doubling. That is the biggest, most hardest thing to come to grips with when you're first starting out as a coin hunter and collector and what have you, because machine doubling just looks so good. You know, you look at machine doubling, you're like, oh, MG, I found my retirement coin. I can retire now. That's machine doubling, which in itself is an error. if you think about it. I can understand that it's not worth anything, but, you know, and then so, you know, I think one of the questions that I was interested in knowing was, how does only a certain part of that get doubled? Even in machine doubling, you would think that, like, if the 79 had machine doubling, why don't the 19? You know, and so I don't know. That was very frustrating early days of COVID and all, and I was just trying to learn the intricacies of things that were besides silver. You know, I could see silver by the dates and what have you, but I was trying to figure all that out, and that was real not good. Yep, that's true, Namaste. That is true. All right, last two rows. I'm going to keep this for a shipping box. Trying to keep a box to put my stuff that needs to be shipped in, separate from some of my shipping materials, because it all gets, no, I don't, it wasn't a Coin Help You format. I have no clue what the name of it was then. It was some kind of website that was supposedly a coin community, and then they had these special people in there that knew everything, and so it was a joke. All they wanted to do was, you know, they weren't there to help new people come in. I think they were very negative toward newbies coming in and asking questions because they were experts. How in the world can you interrupt our little world in here trying to learn something and asking dumb questions? And they would actually respond to you in that manner. So that was a short-lived something, and you had to sign up for it, emails and all that kind of stuff. So I quickly got out of that format, then just started, what did I do? Started watching Paul's Spare Time. Started watching Rob Find Treasure. That's where the information was. I mean, imagine what my following would be like if, you know, if I responded to one of you that way when you asked me a question. Or people in my chat, my moderators were doing that. Ken Peavy, I haven't heard of him. Southern Metal also was really good at going over that kind of stuff. He put a really nice cheat sheet for errors and stuff. I'm assuming, so I've been hunting nickel for months and months. I have still yet found any 38. I need a 38D, Rob. I need a 38D and a 39D. And I bought a 39D at the coin show last, when Martin was down, but I'm not putting it in the book. That is, that will just be in my mind. I can say I got it, you know, but I haven't found it. So I've not put it in the album yet because of that. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll check him out, Crafty. I will check him out. We're losing a lot of our coin people. All right. That is it for the nickels. Yep, I agree, Rob. That's the whole deal. Yeah, it was, you know, it was a joke. Namaste. I haven't really even thought about it for years, but that was not a good introduction to the coin community. So, what we got now is auction time. I'm going to go use the restroom. I may go ahead and get me another Mountain Dew so I can keep the energy up. Wash my hands, and I will be back shortly. We'll get this going. It looks like we're going to finish up before 2. That's good. We'll be out of Copper Owl Coins way. So talk amongst yourself. I'll be back. All right, hey Brent Straddle, Union Deposit. So we are into auction time now. So, Chicken Man Dan has always and will continue to do the run the auction as far as who has the bid going through. But Chicken Man, I would like to start doing the countdown at the end, going once, going twice, all in fair warning, and then I will close the auction out at the end. So if you would continue your great job of keeping up with the who has the bid as we go along, and then I will close out with the countdown. So if that's all right, that's what we're going to do as far as that. I'm going to get these nickels out of the way. Get this box over here. I'm going to change cameras so that I hope I can show a better representation of, yes, all right, show a better representation of the coins or bills or whatever we may be looking at. We'll see how that works. And got that. I need to maybe flip it. Yep, need to flip it. Got to do a flipper. Got to do a flipper. Oop, that wasn't a flipper. Need to transform 180 degrees. There we go. That's a flipper. All right, all right. So first item up today are 2 nickels. This is a dollar start, and it will be a 1911 V nickel and a 1929 S. This is what we're looking at. there are the examples. And I'm going to change back and forth from this view to my scope view. Here is the V-nickel. I'm going to go to full screen on that. That is the V-nickel. Dollar start. Brian and the Twins in at 2 first. I got Brian and the Twins in at 2 first. There is the 1911 V-nickel. Still has the Liberty and the crown there. And then here is the 29. There's a 29S. There is the mint mark, 29S Buffalo. Still got some life there. Still has some life there. So that is what we have on the docket. And we have Brian and the Twins in at $2. Brian and the Twins, $2. Namaste's at 3. Got a good clear date. Got a good clear mint mark. V-nickel reverse is pretty good. We have Brian and the Twins now at 4. Brian and the Twins at 4. That's a very pretty V-nickel. The reverse, I like the little, kind of got a dark toning to it. And a very nice detail on the reverse. That even the reading around the edge, very clean, very clean. So where are we at? We got Brian and the Twins at 4. Namaste says he is out, so we will go once, going once to Brian and the Twins, going once to Brian and the Twins at $4. $4 going once. Brian and the Twins going once, going twice. Going twice to Brian and the Twins at $4. Going twice, Brian and the Twins, $4. Going 3 times, all in fair warning, Brian and the Twins at $4. Sold, Brian and the Twins at $4. That is going to a new home, $4, Brian and the Twins. Thank you, sir. Congrats. Congrats to you on that. Next up, we have 2 Canadian cents. I've got a 31. Well, maybe I ought to put your goodies in your envelope, Brian and the Twins. So next up, we've got a 31 and a 28 Canadian cents. And I will say that the 28 is in pretty good shape. Even has a little luster on it. I'm not going to say that it could not be clean, but it is a very nice cent to be almost 100 years old. And here is the scope view. There is the obverse. 1928 Canadian cent. We have Brian at 1. 1928 Canadian. 1928 Canadian. And then to go along with that, we have a 1931 Canadian. Both in pretty good shape. Good detail on the maple leaves on the back. Good details on the front. So Brian and the Twins is at $1 on both. Brian and the Twins at $1. It has, but it's an old cleaning, I think, and it did not mar the details. Did not mar the details. I always try to be up front in my description of the coin. So Brian and the Twins at 1. Now we have Michael Erickson at 2. We have Brian and the Twins at 3. Brian and the Twins at 3. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Brian. We have Brian and the Twins at 3. At 3 going once to Brian and the Twins at 3. Going once to Brian and the Twins at 3. and going twice to Brian and the Twins. Michael Erickson is out. Going twice to Brian and the Twins at 3. All in fair warning, Brian and the Twins at 3. And so, Brian and the Twins had 3. Congratulations. I agree, Crafty. Yeah, you kind of have to. I still don't like, you know, I still don't like buying clean coins, but it depends on what your expectations are on it. You know, it is what it is. If it's an older coin, you want it for a book, and you're not going to grade it. All right, so this is the start of the $8, and so here is the first example. This is going to be a mint state 65 Eisnhower dollar. Don't know how to best show this. Mint state 65 Eisnhower. There's the reverse. PCGS graded. Starting bid is $16. Brian and the Twin. Shell Bell was at $16. Sorry about that. Brian and the Twins at $17. I think the gray sheet on these is about 20, 22 maybe. So tried to be able to try to keep them under the gray sheet. So we have Shell Bell is at 18. Shell Bell is at 18. We got 80 likes too going, so that's good. We have Brian and the Twins at 19. Mint state 65 Eisnhower dollar. Mint state 65. This is a 73D. We have Shell Bell at 20, just ahead of Namaste. Now we have Eric A.N. at 20. Eric A.N. at 20. Let me see if I can put it under the big scope. See if I can show you any better there. You can see the fields on this thing are super clean. That's why it got the 65 rating. So we got Eric A. Eric, you were a little behind. You might want to refresh. At $20, you were a little behind. Shell Bell is in at 20. Namaste now comes in at 21. Namaste is at 21. Namaste is in at 21 on a 73D. And of course, the reverse of these is so beautiful. Got the moon and the eagle with the branch. We got Shell Bell. We got what we got? We got Namaste 21. Brian and the Twins at 22. Brian and the Twins I see first in at 22. Now we have Shell Bell at 23. Shell Bell I think is 23 is where we're at. Shell Bell at 23. So we will have other opportunities. I may even have Shell Bell at 23. I may even have no, that's the only 65 I've got. We will have a 64 coming up at a later date. And so Eric's out. Shell Bell going once to Shell Bell. Going once to Shell Bell. I do have another 73D that will be coming up at another auction, Eric. It is a mint state 64. So I got Shell Bell going once to Shell Bell. Going once to Shell Bell at 23. And going twice to Shell Bell at 23. 3 times, and all in fair warning to Shell Bell at 23. And sold. Shell Bell has that at 23. Thank you, Shell Bell. So I wasn't sure how this would do. I just thought it would be a neat idea. Thought this would be a neat idea to offer these up. So I don't know how many people may be missing these from their Kennedy albums, but I have a 70D and a 70S set silver, so 40% silver, 40% silver. If you're missing these from your album, I'd like to start these at 22 if there's interest. They are in very good shape. I can put these under the scope for those that might be interested. So Namaste jumped all the way and started at 27. Thank you, Namaste. Brian and the Twins at 30. So here is the 70S. Beautiful coin. We got Namaste 27, Brian and the Twins at 30. So there is the 70S obverse and reverse. Beautiful coin, beautiful proof coin, 40% silver. And then here is the 70D. So again, a very nice mint state coin. Mint state coin. Brian and the Twins is at 30. I have found one Jolly Roger, and it was in a box Chicken Man Dan had bought, and I mentioned that that was the first one I had ever come across, and he let me have it, bless his heart. So I got one in my collection that we found in a hunt, and he let me have it. So there is the obverse, and we have Namaste. Actually, JC Likes Pam was first at 31 Namaste. Brian and the Twins now is at 32. 32 for the 70D and S set. And here again is the proof coin. We have Brian and the Twins now at 32. 32. Yeah, just a further example of the community. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because also the first Benji and Walker that I found also was a Chicken Man Dan box. Of course, I traded him, but he let me keep those since those were the first ones I'd ever found. So now we got JC at 33. JC at 33. Brian and the Twins coming in at 32. JC at 33. And Brian and the Twins is out. Brian and the Twins is out. Beautiful coins, great additions, hard to find in a box because they are NIFCs. And so I found these. I thought that would be a great auction item. Give somebody a chance to fill those voids in their book. And we have JC at 33 going once. JC 33 going once. Walker down, Walker down. Yeah, that was it. That was it. So JC going once and JC going once at 33. 33 going twice. 33 going twice to JC. Twice to JC at 33. And all in fair warning, JC at 33. And sold. JC at 33. Thank you, JC. Beautiful coins. I will make sure they are in a flip when they come to you. And I appreciate you. I will get those out this week for sure. All right, so next up we have the Canadian $2 bills, a 1954. For those of you that are aware of the Canadian eras that you can find, oh, sorry, I missed it. I'm sorry, Namaste. I'm sorry. That's going to be the problem with that, I guess. I don't follow as close, so I am fine with opening that back up, and I wish I had another set. I'm sorry, Namaste. I guess if I'm going to do that, I've got to pay more attention to the countdown. I am sorry. I am sorry. Please forgive that. I will. Yeah, if I'm going to do this, I've really got to watch chat, right? It's kind of fun, a little angle for me, but it's serious to you guys that are interested in this stuff. I apologize, Namaste. Thank you for understanding. So, okay, Namaste, I'm sorry. You need to type in sold. Maybe that's the thing I need to do. Because I could load it up in the chat and be ready to do that. So thank you for that. Sorry, Namaste. All right, so next up we have the Devil's Hair version. This is a 1954 Ottawa printed note. And there was an error when the notes were originally designed, that when they, thank you, Namaste. When they were originally designed, they came out with a design that produced what they call a devil's face in the note. The way the hair was arranged, somebody noticed, and in this one you can see the nose. Let's see. See the nose there, the two eyes. We have Shell Bell at 17, BH Ringer is at 18, and the nose and the mouth, and it looks like a devil's face. And so the Queen was not happy. The Queen was not happy with that, so they redesigned it and removed that feature. They redesigned the hair in a way as to get rid of that. There's a magnified view. So we got Shell Bell starting us out at 17, BX Ringer 18, Shell Bell at 20. Shell Bell at 20. Shell Bell is at 20. No, Shell Bell 19, BX Ringer at 20. BX Ringer at 20. Brian and the Twins is now at 21. I have Brian and the Twins at 21. Do I see that right? You still don't see the face. Okay, so here are the eyes. Here are the eyes and the nose. You can even see the nostril there. Kind of got a hook nose. And then there are the lips of the smile. Eyeballs, nose, and a little devilish grin there. BH Ringer is at 22. BH Ringer is out. Brian and the Twins now at 23. Brian and the Twins at 23, going once to Brian and the Twins at 23. When you zoom out, you see it better. So going once. Brian and the Twins at 23, going twice. Brian and the Twins at 23. Brian and the Twins at 23. All right, 3 times, all in fair warning. Brian and the Twins at 23. And sold. Brian and the Twins at 23. Did I do that better? I see what you're saying. That gives a clear point of the sale. Thank you for that suggestion. That will help a lot in doing that. All right. Brian and the Twins, you have that at 23. Was that right? Brian and the Twins at 23. All right. So there we go. Got that done. I need to make a note on it. I'm going to put a sticky note on the outside. Give me just a second. Got to keep up with this stuff because as the gray matter goes away, so does the memory. Thanks for the memories. All right, next up we have a commemorative $50. The flip that I had this in showed it was a 1952, but it is actually a 1982. Somebody corrected. I guess he just wrote it down, but it is a very, very nice example of this. 1982 Washington commemorative. We're going to start that at $18 if there's interest. All right, so did Brian, did Bill goes to Namaste? That is very generous, Brian. So Namaste, we'll get that. I'm changing the name now. And that will go. Thank you, sir. That is very generous of you. I think it was Cadro Hunter, got a bunch of old bills from the bank, and he found one of the devil's face in circulation in those bills. So that was kind of cool. So is there any interest? I have not seen any interest right now at $18 for this to start. There is the up close and personal 82 Washington commemorative. And there is the reverse. This is the Denver Mint. Denver Mint. Denver Mint. From Santa Namaste. 90% silver. Yes, Cammie, 90% silver. Cammie is in at 18. Starting bid was 17, Cammie. I am fine at 17. Unless I missed somebody, starting bid 17. Starting bid is 17 to Cammie King. Cammie King. Hey, $1's $1, right? Cammie King at 17. We're going to say 17 to Cammie King at 17. And we're going to go ahead and go once to Cammie. No other action so far. Cammie King. I may have. I get to blubbering.
Very generous.
Oh, it was. Anyway, it's 17 because I said it was. I didn't mean to do that. Jim Cantor comes in with $5 more shipping money. Thank you, Jim. Very, very, very generous of you. It does say 18. I'm looking at the flip now, so that was my bad. Namaste now, though, is at 18. Namaste got that dollar back. Thank you, Namaste. Thank you, Namaste. I get caught up in the action and I say things sometimes. When you get old, you get forgiven for that kind of stuff, right? Namaste wants it though. Namaste at 18. I have a feeling there's going to be some redirection, but that's just my thoughts. So Namaste is at 18 now. Namaste at 18. Thank you, Cammie. Thank you, Namaste. Going once to Namaste. If there's any other interest, going once to Namaste at 18. And twice to Namaste at 18. all in fair warning, Namaste at 18. Oop, Cammy Keen at 19. Cammy's at 19. I was almost going to hammer it down. Cammy come back at 19. Eric A is at 20 now. We have Eric A in the hunt at 20. All right, Lisa D, we'll maybe try to do that at the end of the chat of this auction, if that's okay. Remind me at the end while we're doing the EOSs. I will try to look at that then. So we got Eric A at 20. We had Cammy at 19. We had Namaste at 18. Thank you, everyone. Eric A is now at 20. Cammy is out. Thanks. Good luck, guys. There is the obverse with the D mint mark there to the right. We have Eric A now at 20 going once to Eric A at 20. Going once to Eric A at 20. And going twice to Eric A at 20. Three times, and all in fair warning, Eric A at 20. And sold, Eric A at 20. Oh, boy, it didn't go. Hold on. Sold, I did that again. Hold on, one more time. Eric A at 20. Maybe this is more trouble than it's worth. More trouble than it's worth. All right, so there we go. Sold finally, Eric A. Thank you, Eric. Sorry about the delay there. Maybe I just need to go back to let Chicken Man Dan do it. $20. Eric A. All right, next up, what do we got next? All right, so this I think I overpaid. I lowered the price on this from what I initially was going to list it at. The lady that I bought it from said that there was a 500,000 mintage on the 5 Centesimos. And I looked it up and it's actually 1.5. So I'm going to start these off if there's interest. And I understand that's fine if there's not. If there's not interest, here are 2 Balboas Panamanian coins. These are 1904. So they changed the design on these after 1904. I'm not sure exactly what the date for the design changed, but I saw these and I just thought they were super cool looking coins. So I thought I would get them and see if there's any interest. So there they are. Shell Bell is in at 22. Shell Bell is in at 22. And here is the reverse 2 1904 Balboas. These are silver coins. They are silver. 90%, I do believe. There is the reverse. They are there at the reverse. They are silver. I have PayPal, Cashapp, and Venmo, Eric A., if any of those work for you. So we are at $22. Did I miss anything? $22. Shell Bell at 22. They are 90% silver. They are 111 years old, something like that. I'm horrible with math. All right, I'm going to put them under the big scope now so that everybody can see them there. There they are. Very nice detail left on them. Got Brian and the Twins at 23. And then here is the obverse. Still has some of the detail on the cap, more on the 5 Centesimos than the 10. Got the Balboa there at the bottom. This is the old design, as I said. And we have Brian and the Twins at 23. Shell Bell started us off. Thank you, Shell Bell, at 22. We got Brian and the Twins now at 23. Any other advance on 23? Going once then, going once. Oh, Namaste at 25. Namaste comes in at 25. Shell Bell is out. Shield Bell is out. Namaste at 25. Brian is out to Namaste. Brian is out to Namaste. Wrong Balboa. Namaste, all right, going once. I don't see any other interest. Going once to Namaste. Namaste at 25. Going once to Namaste at 25. And twice to Namaste. Twice to Namaste at 25. Twice to Namaste, and all in fair warning to Namaste at 25, and sold to Namaste at 25. Thank you, Namaste. I love the design. I saw them. I started picking up. I have many of these in the other design. So we will see these come back. If you're still interested in the Balboas, Namaste at 25. Thank you, Namaste. Next up, we'll get into some currency if there's interest. As you guys know, I'm trying to dabble in this some, and I thought I would move up to offering it to you guys. Eric, I would prefer, since you've got the PayPal in, sometimes there's not an address there. If you look at the top of the chat there, my email's there. Send me an email with your address, please. Would really help a lot if you would do that. So this is called a Funny Back Silver Certificate. So I could probably find another silver certificate. So this is about, in a BG8, this is 30. So I'm starting it at 30. It is a better note than a BG8. It does have issues, which I will show under the scope. And the reason they call it a funny back is because of this. It kind of looks like Monopoly money. Kind of looks like Monopoly money. So there's the reverse. It's called a funny back note. And this is a $1 silver certificate. A BG8 note, which could have, a lot of handling damage and other issues, is a $30 note. This is more in the $40 to $50 range. In great condition. It does have folds, but somebody put tape or something on it at one point. And so it has some ink missing from the one there. And it has a shiny reflection on it. So I thought I would pick it up, see if there was any interest. You can see some of the discoloration there. And then the rear of the note looked pretty good. No pinholes that I can see. It did not bleed through with the issue to the reverse. So if there's any interest, we'll start counting it down. Any interest in that note at $30. All right, let's pull that one off then, Chicken Man Dan. Pull it off. We got 15 minutes to Copper House. Brian and the Twins. Yes, I would do 25. You've got stuff coming already, so I'm not trying to recoup my shipping. I will do 25. So we're going to sell that to Brian and the Twins at 25. And since you already have things to come, shipping, it shouldn't be an issue. So Brian and the Twins. I will do that for 25. You're welcome. There's Neptune. All right, so next up, I have a little pricier item. I have a 36 Walking Liberty. Starting bid on this is going to be 85. Starting bid on this is going to be 85. Let me see. Let me get it out. This one's so shiny, even not in the flip, it is. It's gonna pick up the glare. So. If there is interest in a very nice low mint state, maybe 62, 63, 36 Walking Liberty, here she is. There is the obverse. And here is the reverse. $85 starting bid. 36p Walking Liberty. Put it under the scope. Any interest at $85. Any interest at $85. There's not a speck of wear on it. The breast feathers coming through. On the front of the Miss Liberty, there's no booby wear. So beautiful coin. Any interest at $85. I can't go lower on this one. I've got 80 in it, to be quite honest with you. All right, we are going to pull that off. I may put this in as a buy it now at some point. If anybody, JC Like Pam comes in at 85. JC is at 85. JC said, I got a Walker album that needs a spot filled, and that would be a beauty. That would be a beauty. Thank you, JC. Going once to JC at 85. And twice to JC at 85. All in fair warning, JC at $85. And sold. JC at 85. Thank you, JC. That's a nice pickup. All right, next up, number 10. Is another currency item. So starting bid on this, what is the starting bid on this? Oh, nice. Brian and the Twin getting his own silver. I think I started at 125. Yep, that's right. All right, 125. This is a Federal Reserve note from 1914. Again, it is a currency item. I'm trying to offer these out. It's a horse blanket note. Let me see if I can handle it in a way that you guys can appreciate it. It is a 1914 Federal Reserve. This is from Atlanta. And I am starting this at 125. This is agriculture and industry. Agriculture and industry is the art depiction on the back. It's just hard to display these in a way that you can truly appreciate how pretty they are. So 125, is there any interest at 125 for a VF25 1914 Federal Reserve horse blanket note? You did well with that, JC, I think. Thank you, my friend. 125. Counting down. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Actually, I was counting up, wasn't it? All right, we're going to pull that item. That is item number 10. We are down to the last item in the box. If there's any interest in that, you can always get with me by email. Although it can set in the collection, it's fine with me. Oh, good deal. So next up, we have a 66 SMS set in the box. The box is in good condition. And the holder, $15 starting bid. Brian and the Twins is in at 15. And here is the coinage. United States special mint set. You got 66 penny. Beautiful nickel. 65 dime, quarter. And 65 40%er. I don't know how they count full steps on these. These are probably proof coins. There's Silverman 92. Oh yeah, that nickel is a blinger. Brian and the Twins is in at 15. Namaste now said 16. He said the nickel sold me. The nickel sold me. Put your sunglasses on there, Namaste. Namaste at 16. So I don't know if they count full steps on these, but this probably has it. Ooh, I hear thunder. I hear thunder. There was a chance for some rain today. Namaste, let's go once. Brian is out. Namaste going once at 16. Namaste going once at 16. And twice to Namaste at 16. Brian and the Twins at 17. Brian and the Twins at 17. Need that penny, he said. Brian and the Twins at 17. He couldn't help himself. He was probably shaking, trying to hold himself back from the trigger. Then he pulled it. Namaste's drooling on the nickel, and well, that too, I am hungry. Namaste drooling on the nickel, and Brian drooling on the penny. So we are at 17. We are at 17. Brian and the Twins going once at 17. Any other interest at 17? Do I hear 18? Do I hear 18? And twice to, hey, mobile coins. Twice, we're going twice now to Brian and the Twins. Twice to Brian and the Twins. All in fair warning to Brian and the Twins. And sold to Brian and the Twins at 18. Good pickup. Nice set. Thank you, sir. You've been well represented in the auction today. Thank you. And that, though, is going to spell the end of the auction today. Wait, WalkerMagnet. All right, so here's what we need to do. I'm going to ask this. I'm going to ask this of you guys, Namaste, I only need numbers only, if you will, because I saw your comment, and then I missed because of the, I'm not going to break it open. I'm not going to break it open, and I think I'm going to go back to the old way because I can't follow the chat good enough to do this and do that. So next week we're going to go back to the old way of doing the thing. So I read your comment, Namaste, but it threw me off because the number. So I will send this to Brian. Brian, you share that as you will, okay? So I'm sorry again about that, and this is more trouble than it's worth to do that way. So starting next week, we're going to go back to doing it the regular way. Brian and the twins, you have that, and I'm going to go back to the regular way. Fun though it might be, it's a little more stressful than I like it. So B and T. That was 17. And again, Namaste, I've got you twice, and I truly apologize. It's not my intent to cut anybody out. Certainly, I'm just hurting myself if I miss a higher bid. So, mobile coin, just out here kissing hands and shaking babies. Well, for those of you that don't know mobile coins, and if you want to mobile coins, type in !me, and it will post your channel. He does box hunts, auction items, all kind of things. Been in the business much longer than I have. So if you will type in !me, it will put your link. Put your link out there so that we can get you some traffic, good sir. Get you some traffic. Thanks for coming in. Type in !me and get your link put up. All right, so we are at the EOS time of the day. We have 90 likes, so we're a few short. We're going to start off, though, with the regular EOS will be a 40%er. 40%er on the, we got a dirty looking 67. Dirty looking 67. And I'm going to get that started. Yeah, and if anybody wants to go and grab Mobile Coins link and put it in the chat, I'm good with that. I would appreciate one of the mods if you would do that. So let's get to the giveaways. We're doing EOS. Now on my EOSs, I only give you 2 minutes. So if you want to get in for the EOS, you got 2 minutes to get in. And here we go. EOS number 1 is for everybody. The next EOS will be for members only. You can become a member for $1.98, something like that, if you would like, and then you will be eligible for the members only giveaways, which I try to step up a little bit in thinking of my members that do a lot for the channel. It does a lot for everyday ins and outs that come with running a channel. As some of you well know, you have 2 minutes, got 1 minute and 26 seconds to get in. Minute and 26 seconds to get in. A minute and 8 seconds. Mountain Dew is gone, so it's wind down time now. We'll be winding in the Copper Owl coins in just 1 minute. 1 minute and counting down. 1 minute and counting down. Got 40 people in, 49 in chat. 40 people in, 49 in chat. Brian and the Twins, you were the last in. Any more takers? 35 seconds. There's Eric A. sliding in. BH Ringer sliding in. Eric A., I didn't see you in. Did you already get in? And you were just making sure. Try again, Eric A. There you are. You were in early, Eric A. I will, as soon as, matter of fact, Shell Bell or Dad's Spare Change probably has it on the spreadsheet. They can provide that for you before we sign off. All right, 6 seconds to go. We got 42 people in. Treasure Hog was in as the last one. You are already in, Eric A. You are good. Here we go. EOS number 1 for everybody. The next EOS is a members only. Picking the winner, and that winner is going to be JC Likes Pam. All right, JC Likes Pam, congratulations. Put that in with your other goodies. JC has some auction items coming his way. JC, congratulations. All right, let's go back to the main thing. So the next giveaway will be another 2-minute giveaway. It is for members only. You have to be a member of the channel to participate. You can put exclamation GAW in if you would like, but we should not enter you unless you're a member or a mod, I think. Member or a mod. Most of my mods are members, so that kind of works out. And members only, starting now, 2 minutes to get in. 2 minutes to get in. And here is what we're giving away. It is a 1892 Colombian commemorative. 1892. Actually, it says 90. Well, it is a 93. Let me rephrase that. I'm going to take it out of the flip just to show it a little better. 2 minutes, got 1 minute 37 seconds. 1893 Colombian Expo commemorative. Members only. Members only. There he is. Not a bad coin. Giving this away to the members only today. You've got 1 minute and 10 seconds to get in. 1 minute and 10 seconds to get in. And there is the reverse, 1893. 1893. We got 21 people in. 58 seconds to go. 58 seconds to go. Members only giveaway. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate you. Everybody that participated in the auction. Again, namaste to you particularly. I apologize for the hiccups there. I'm going to go back to the old way so that it's more dependable. Fun while it may be, I want to make sure that I am doing fair by you guys. So 24 seconds to go. 24 seconds to go. Members only giveaway. 1893 Colombian Expo commemorative. 14 seconds to go. Eric A's in. Got 21 people. 21 people in. KCB members only giveaway. Matt Yankee members only giveaway. All good. Just bidding to support the channel. And I know you are, namaste. I have a standard in my head, and it doesn't matter how forgiving you guys are. When I make a mistake like that, it bothers me. All right, so here we go. We're going to give this away to a member today, and that member is going to be Jim Thompson. Jim Thompson has won. Jim Thompson, thank you, sir, for your membership. I greatly appreciate everybody that contribute through memberships. And that's going to wrap it up. That is going to wrap it up. Let's go back. All right, there we go. There we are. Good stream. The box didn't turn out as good as I would have liked. But what you going to do? You know, we still hunted through it. We got all that separated, so I'm good to go on that. Nickel box was a bust too. No silver, no real anything. We found a couple beat up 40s nickel, so that was not good either. And we are going to get ready to sign off here. So Copper Owl should be started now. Thank you, Jolly Roger. Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you to my mods, every guy. Y'all guys do a great job helping monitor the stream. Thank you, Martin Bowen. Everything I think went pretty smoothly up until the auction, so we will fix that next week. So next week we will have more goodies coming across. Check your email. I will do that, Eric. Also, Lisa D wanted me to show. I hate to continue on a little bit with Copper Owl getting started, but she sent me an email, said that I could share it with the chat. Let me see if I can find it. Eric, let's see, I do see. Yes, I do have your address in Illinois, Eric, if that is right. Thank you, Otis. So I'm good there. Let me check. Lisa D sent me an email with some information on the Devil's Face. I see Eric A. I see Lisa D. I don't see an email from you, so I'm not going to spend any time on that. We are going to move. We are going to move on with the Jim Thompson comes in with $5 for postage. Thank you, Jim. Very generous of you, my friend. So we will wrap it up there then. All right. So thanks everybody. I appreciate you all. Go support Copper Owl. Come back tonight. Support Hunting Southwest Ohio. I hope to be back Tuesday with another box we will do for Jim Cantor since his was a bust. And you guys have a good week. Have a blessed Sunday. And I will see you guys Tuesday night. Later, everybody. Good afternoon. Good evening. Have a good time. Go see Copper Owl. Tell him I sent you. Bye.